Welcome to Dubai, a city in the desert that attracts attention with its unique combination of luxury and innovation. This city draws both wealthy tourists and influential businessmen from around the world. Here you'll find luxurious shopping malls and stunning architecture, as well as impressive technology. And who would have thought that a city in the desert would go underwater? In Dubai, almost 100 millimeters of precipitation fell in just 12 hours. Roughly the amount, according to the United Nations, that falls in the emirate throughout an entire year. The country hasn't faced such an abundance of rain since 1949. If we told you that the USA experienced more hurricanes, or that Thailand suffered from tropical downpours, it might seem expected, but flooding in the desert is something beyond imagination. Let's explore how such an event can happen and what consequences this natural phenomenon has brought. Before we continue, let me remind you that you can subscribe to our channel right now by clicking the bell icon, so you don't miss our new releases. Dubai is located on the northeastern coast of the United Arab Emirates. A large part of its territory, about 80%, is covered by sandy desert. Many are surprised when they see rain in Dubai, and news of snow in the Emirates leaves everyone utterly perplexed. There is hardly any precipitation in Dubai throughout the year, with an average annual rainfall of about 68 mm. The driest month of the year is May. Such a large amount of rainfall in the arid region of the Persian Gulf has raised questions and spawned theories, most of which point to human intervention in nature and its consequences. So where does the water in Dubai come from? Natural precipitation in the Emirates is very rare, and it mainly occurs during the winter months, with most of it falling in January, about 20 mm. However, it is also known that cloud seeding technology is widely used in the Emirates. This is a process in which various methods are used to stimulate cloud formation and induce precipitation in certain areas. The country invests significant funds in these projects, and this method is primarily used to address the region's water scarcity problems. One method involves cloud seeding with sodium chloride, salt, which is shot from cannons mounted on special planes. Salt crystals attract tiny water particles which, joining together, help in the formation of clouds. Another method is the use of drones or planes to spray scattering particles, such as ammonium sulfate or silver iodide, into cloud formations. These particles help increase the size of the water droplets and stimulate the precipitation process. In the UAE, cloud seeding is widely used as part of a strategy to combat climate change and provide additional water sources for the country. This technology has been in use for over 10 years. In 2021, they began testing a new method that uses drones to affect clouds with electrical discharges. Overall, the country has a network of radars and weather stations and specialized services, such as the Dubai Meteorological and Climate Office and the National Center for Meteorology, monitor weather conditions, predict the likelihood of precipitation, and explore methods to increase it, including artificial rain. However, the intensity of the rain after seeding is difficult to predict. What we saw in mid-April was the largest amount of precipitation ever recorded in Dubai. Such heavy rains are becoming more frequent in the Emirates due to climate change, primarily caused by human activity. Like many parts of the world, global weather conditions can also affect the weather in Dubai, generally increasing or decreasing the level of precipitation in the region. All the aforementioned factors lead to periodic and sometimes intense downpours. The disaster that struck Dubai in April this year has raised serious concerns. The infrastructure, known worldwide, turned into a true desert kingdom. The bustling rhythm of the city seemed to stop. Torrential rains in Dubai started on the evening of Monday. This natural disaster has already been called the largest of the 21st century. The climax came on Tuesday, April 16th. Along with the downpours, a powerful hurricane struck the city, accompanied by thunderstorms and in some places hail the size of a golf ball. The city declared an orange danger level, urging residents to stay indoors, and many businesses switched to remote work, including educational institutions. Lightning struck the famous Dubai skyscrapers, and in the largest shopping center, the Mall of the Emirates, pipes burst. By evening, there were disruptions in electricity and water supply throughout the city. Streets, shopping centers, and residential buildings were flooded, and the damage was catastrophic. Water levels rose visibly, making roads impassable. Water pumping machines simply could not cope. A problem was that, like all cities in the Emirates, Dubai lacks drainage systems capable of handling torrential rains, so flooded roads during precipitation are not uncommon. Videos shared on social media showed distressing scenes reminiscent of a disaster movie. Cars were completely submerged, forcing drivers to leave their vehicles and seek safe refuge. Owners of luxury vehicles helplessly watched as their Ferraris and Lamborghinis went underwater, with only the roofs barely visible above the water surface. The flood poured into shopping centers and also inundated the first floors of buildings, leading people to seek refuge in higher structures. The airport, one of the busiest in the world, witnessed a real disaster. Passengers who were caught in the airport during the storm had to sleep on the floor, while others were not even allowed into the terminal, as check-in was suspended due to operational problems caused by the bad weather and road conditions. Frankly, it's unclear how anyone could make it to the airport in such weather. The runway of Dubai International Airport was completely submerged, forcing operators to close the airport for almost an hour. Airliners trying to navigate the water barriers resembled huge boats cutting through the water. The airport's operations quickly resumed, but the flight schedule turned into absolute chaos, with all flights being canceled or delayed. What was the government of Dubai doing during the natural disaster? Yes, they moved many companies and educational institutions online, advising people not to leave their homes, and set orange, then red danger levels. But as many residents said during the disaster, it was simply impossible to get through to emergency services. What can people sitting in an office do when a multi-million city suddenly needs to be saved in an instant? However, the Dubai government swiftly began the process of restoring the affected areas. Those in need were quickly provided with housing, pest control services, food aid, security services, premises drying and cleaning of damaged homes. Sheikh Hamdan bin Mohammed Al Maktoum, Crown Prince and Chairman of the Executive Council of Dubai, drafted a recovery plan that also includes the creation of a commission to urgently review the cases of all civilians affected by the floods. In Dubai, natural disasters are usually very rare due to the climate and geographical location. During the summer months, Dubai can experience extreme temperatures, which can lead to heat waves and pose a risk of heat stroke to residents. Also, due to the desert climate, the region can experience severe sandstorms, which can limit visibility, damage property, and create inconveniences for residents. Storms in the Arabian Sea can cause high waves. One of the strongest hurricanes occurred in 2005, with wind gusts up to 20 meters per second, causing waves up to 2 meters high. However, this led more to an unusual interest among tourists and locals who flocked to the beaches to witness an uncommon phenomenon for the region. Earthquakes in Dubai occur only as aftershocks of strong tremors from neighboring Middle Eastern countries. These earthquakes usually have low magnitudes and do not cause serious damage to infrastructure or pose a threat to people's lives. The main problem faced by Dubai and other regions of the country is an environmental disaster, which likely contributed to the severe flooding. These floods were part of a broader weather disaster that also affected Oman, Pakistan, Bahrain, Qatar, and Saudi Arabia. Climatologists link the increase in natural disasters, such as floods in Dubai and other regions, to global climate changes and the rise in Earth's temperature due to high levels of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. The rapid economic development of Dubai has led to serious environmental issues, driven by high population growth rates and increased energy and water consumption. Perhaps the fast-paced progress and implementation of bold projects have led to a series of environmental problems. Arguably, the main issue for a city built in the middle of the desert is the constant shortage of fresh water. The only source of fresh water remains the Persian Gulf, whose water is salty, forcing the Emirates to resort to desalinating seawater, which negatively impacts the environment. Desalination plants emit a huge amount of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. Another byproduct of the plant's activity is sludge, which is then dumped into the sea, also harming its ecosystem. According to the Living Planet report by the World Wildlife Fund, the United Arab Emirates ranks first in the world in terms of ecological, water, and carbon footprint. This is not surprising, since the hot and dry climate requires a large amount of energy and the import of many goods that cannot be produced in the country. The level of waste generation per capita in the UAE is also one of the highest in the world. Most of the waste ends up in landfills, and the Persian Gulf suffers from the discharge of untreated sewage. All these issues in Dubai cause air pollution, depletion of natural resources, soil degradation, and threaten the diversity of living organisms. As a result, there could be climate changes, deterioration of air and water quality, as well as threats to the health of people and animals. The authorities in Dubai are taking comprehensive measures to improve the environmental situation in the city, focusing on construction, energy saving, greening, and conducting environmentally responsible activities, as well as sorting and recycling waste. We hope that all the measures being undertaken by this truly great country will improve the environmental situation in Dubai and the country as a whole. Or could the artificially created landscape and new technologies become factors that lead to the downfall of this giant? Write your assumptions in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe and like. Your support is our inspiration. Thank you for your attention, and see you soon.